Hello everyone. Next to air, water is the most common and essential substance on Earth, covering nearly 75% of the surface. Wilhelm Ostwald once said, almost all chemical processes in nature occur in water solutions. That is why water is called the true elixir of life. Natural water is water in its original state, while treated water is water that has undergone purification. The human body itself is nearly 70% water, showing its role in every physiological function. From photosynthesis in plants to running hydroelectric power stations, every process depends on water. Have you ever thought about what makes Earth so unique compared to other planets? The answer is simple: water. Without water, life as we know it would not exist. In living organisms, water is vital for the growth of plants and animals, and it helps maintain the delicate ecological balance. In our own bodies, water plays irreplaceable roles. It drives digestion, keeps our blood circulating, removes wastes through excretion, and even regulates body temperature when we sweat or shiver. Beyond living systems, industries too are powered by water. Agriculture depends on irrigation, textiles need water for processing, transportation routes often run along rivers and seas, and chemical industries use water as a raw material and solvent. Even our electricity relies on it. Thermoelectric plants require a steady water supply for cooling, while hydroelectric dams convert moving water into power. Imagine if water disappeared even for a week, not only would living beings collapse, but entire industries would come to a standstill. That is why water is rightly called the lifeblood of both nature and civilization. Now that we know why water is essential, let us see where it actually occurs in nature. Water is found in all three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. In its solid state, we see it as ice, snow, and frost, with glaciers storing the largest reserves of Earth's fresh water. In liquid form, water flows as rivers, fills lakes and seas, bubbles up as spring water, and even seeps underground as wells and soil moisture. Sometimes we notice it gently resting on leaves in the form of dew. In the gaseous state, water appears as vapor, mist, clouds, and fog, and this invisible form is what keeps our weather and climate cycles running. But water is not only free in nature, it also exists in combined forms. For example, hydrated salts like magnesium chloride hexahydrate, written as MgCl2.6H2O, contain water molecules locked in their crystal structure. Even inside plants and animals, biomolecules such as proteins and carbohydrates carry water bound within them. Truly, water surrounds us in every possible form, visible or hidden. Have you ever wondered why, despite constant use, the world never runs out of water? The answer lies in nature's recycling system, the water cycle. This cycle works through three major steps: evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Water from oceans, rivers, and lakes evaporates into vapor under the sun's heat. This vapor rises and cools, condensing into clouds. When the clouds can hold no more, water falls back as precipitation in the form of rain, snow, or hail. This endless circulation ensures that fresh water is constantly renewed and distributed across the planet. The cycle beautifully demonstrates a fundamental law of chemistry: matter is neither created nor destroyed, it only changes its state and moves through different phases. Each rainfall we see is nature's way of balancing Earth's water supply, replenishing rivers, groundwater, and farmlands. In short, the water cycle is Earth's life sustaining recycling machine. Now let's shift from nature to chemistry and ask, what exactly is water at the molecular level? Water is not an element, but a compound made of hydrogen and oxygen. This was first proven by Henry Cavendish, who showed that two volumes of hydrogen and one volume of oxygen react to form water. Later, Antoine Lavoisier confirmed that water is composed of two atoms of hydrogen bonded with one atom of oxygen. That is why its chemical formula is H2O. Compounds like water have unique properties very different from their constituent elements. For example, hydrogen is a flammable gas and oxygen supports combustion, but when combined, they form water, a liquid that extinguishes fire. Such is the wonder of chemical bonding. To say it aloud, the reaction goes like this: two molecules of hydrogen gas plus one molecule of oxygen gas gives two molecules of water. Written as 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. This fixed composition and new properties prove water is a true compound, not a mixture. Not all water is the same. Depending on its source and purity, we distinguish between natural water and treated water. Natural water is what we directly find in rivers, wells, springs, and seas. However, it often contains dissolved salts, suspended particles, and microorganisms, making it unsafe for direct consumption. Treated water, on the other hand, is purified to remove harmful substances and is made safe for use. Distilled water is the purest form, obtained by boiling water into vapor and condensing it back. This is the type used in laboratories for accurate experiments. For everyday use, cities supply pipe-borne water, which is filtered and chemically treated so households receive safe drinking water. In places like swimming pools, chlorine is added to kill harmful germs and prevent infections. Thus, by treating water, we adapt nature's gift to meet our health and industrial needs. Before we wrap up, let me ask you something. Can you imagine a single day without water? No cooking, no bathing, no farming, no electricity, and even our own bodies would fail to function. That's how deeply water is woven into the fabric of life. Now let us recap what we have learned. Water is truly the elixir of life, essential for natural ecosystems, human survival, and industrial growth. It occurs in all three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gaseous, and through the endless water cycle of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation, it keeps replenishing itself. Chemically, water is not an element but a compound, represented as H2O, with fixed composition and unique properties very different from hydrogen or oxygen alone. We also saw how natural water from rivers, wells, and seas differs from treated water, which is purified for safe use in homes, laboratories, and even swimming pools. So, water stands as the most precious compound on earth, a gift of nature that sustains life and civilization. In our next concept, we'll dive deeper into the chemical properties of water and uncover how this simple molecule behaves in fascinating reactions.